Alright, hi guys. This is a new angle. This is fun. I figured out how to make it work when I'm standing up. Might be a little annoying because I feel like I'm going to be 10 times more mobile, especially with my hand motions when I'm speaking, but you know, there's a first for everything, so. The last video I uploaded was a Las Vegas haul, and in that video I mentioned I was going to be filming a video all about my experience of meeting my internet friend, as well kind of an experience of Vegas overall as a city. And here's the video. That is what I'm filming right now. I already tried to film this once before and it was literally an actual mess because my thoughts are everywhere, and at the end of the video when I tried editing it together, nothing made sense. So I wrote down a day-by-day list of what we did, and I'm just gonna like read it off and look at it for notes. So if I'm looking down, that's why, and you can clearly see that because this is a new angle. So starting on Sunday, July 17th, that is the day that I actually left for Las Vegas. I have never flown before in my life except for that day, and that was actually one of my biggest fears ever, was flying, and I was super nervous that entire day. I was so afraid. The whole trip was just kind of a big surprise and spur of the moment thing. We booked it like a month in advance and I couldn't back out, so I went to the airport and my first flying experience was super good. I love the atmosphere of the airport. I love flying in general. I was so afraid over absolutely nothing. So if you're afraid of flying, please get over that fear as soon as possible because you're literally worrying about absolutely nothing. And yeah. So our plane took off from the airport around like 8:45 or something like that, and I arrived in Las Vegas around 11, obviously because of the time difference and everything. When we got to the airport, we went and picked up our luggage, and then we stepped out and braced the heat of Las Vegas. And when you walk into Las Vegas for the first time, it's super overwhelming because it feels like you're opening the door of an oven, and that's like the best way I can describe it. You walk outside of a nice air-conditioned airport into just like heat. All heat. But I have to be honest and say that Las Vegas was an absolutely wonderful, beautiful heat. There was zero humidity. I'm from Pennsylvania, so there's so much humidity here and you don't realize how much of it you have until it's all gone, if that makes sense. So I loved how hot it was over there. Actually, it was hot, but to me it was like a good hot, if that makes sense. So once we got to Las Vegas, we checked in to our hotel. We stayed at the Paris Hotel, which is right on the Strip of Vegas. It's across the street from the Bellagio, as well as down the street from the Flamingo and Caesar's Palace, so that kind of gives you some idea of where it's located. It's literally the one that has the Eiffel Tower right outside of it. So after we checked in the hotel, we were hungry, obviously from traveling all night, so we found a restaurant. We actually went to Wahlburgers, which is Mark Wahlberg's restaurant, I believe. Somebody of the famous Wahlburgers, Wahlberg's family is Wahlburgers, like they own it. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, somebody famous owns the place. So we went there, super good, would totally recommend if you're down for like a nice burger or you just want something that's not super over the top and fancy. So moving on to Monday, the Paris Hotel had a super nice pool and just like laying out area, so we spent poolside for most of the day. Once we were done with poolside for the day, we were tanning and stuff. We got ready to go out on the Strip of Vegas for the nightlife, and before that we did some souvenir shopping in the Miracle Mile Mall, which is just kind of like a big mall with regular stores, and then off to the side of it is like souvenir shops and then restaurant type areas. So we went souvenir shopping and we ate at the Rainforest Cafe. That's where we had dinner that night. I loved that place. The food was so good. I got the Rasta pasta. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Just the amount of detail they put into that restaurant to really make it look like a rainforest was absolutely insane. I cannot imagine how many people and how much work went into a place like that. After we ate dinner, we walked around the Strip and we went to the Sprinkles Cupcake ATM, which is down there. I've had Sprinkles Cupcakes before when I went to Washington, D.C., but I've never had the whole like ATM experience because they don't have an ATM in D.C., so that's always something I've been super interested in doing. On Tuesday, we once again did some poolside because I was super pale before I left. I'm still super pale, but I was paler than this when I left. So I wanted to get some good sun while I was there. Then after poolside, once again, we got ready to go out on the Strip for the nightlife. And before that, we ate at Bubba Gump Shrimp, which if you guys have ever seen the movie Forrest Gump, Bubba Gump is like the shrimp company, you know what I mean? So we ate at Bubba Gump Shrimp. So So good, so good. The shrimp was amazing. Our waitress was so incredibly nice. If you ever happen to come across this video and you're like watching this, hi, what's up? You were so nice. We loved her so much and we loved the food so much that we went back on Wednesday night. Yes, Wednesday night, which I will get to later, but Bubba Gump was so good and I loved going there because everything was based around Forrest Gump and that's one of my favorite movies, and I crushed the trivia that they ask you while you're waiting for your food. Such an enjoyable experience. Once again, another place I would definitely recommend going to. So after Bubba Gump, this is when I actually met Soch for the first time. So Soch lives in Mesquite, Nevada, which is about an hour outside of Las Vegas. So after we ate dinner, she drove out to Las Vegas and came to our hotel and I met her. So I have a video, of course, and I will insert that right here. As you can see in the video, I am literally going to actually snap her in half and or push her over because she's so small. She's actually older than me, but she's very, very small. She's like 4'11" or something like that. I don't even know. And I'm 5'3", so I literally look like a giant compared to her in the video. All of my friends are taller than me, so I'm not used to like being the tallest one, so I was kind of like nitpicking at her all weekend for her height. So once I met Soch, I introduced her to my friends that I realized I totally forgot to mention at the beginning of this video. I went to Vegas with my mom, my friend Brittany, and her mom, so it was the four of us. So once I met Soch, I introduced her to Brittany and her mom. So Soch slept over our hotel from Tuesday to Wednesday. She had to work on Wednesday, so on Wednesday we woke up early and Soch took me to In-N-Out Burger, which is something I've always wanted to try for the longest time. Ever since I like started watching YouTube, especially YouTubers that live on the West Coast, In-N-Out has always been something that I've wanted to try just because it looks so good. Like, you know how if you've ever watched SpongeBob, you see a Krabby Patty and like you really want to try a Krabby Patty, like you're like, I wonder what a Krabby Patty tastes like because it looks so good. That's so weird, but like just hear me out. Like that is what In-N-Out is. Like I was like, I need to try this, like is this even real, like what is the hype? So she took me to In-N-Out Las Vegas. I got this shirt because I'm super touristy, it's really cute. But yeah, we went to In-N-Out Burger, which was an amazing experience, and I'm so glad I got to experience my first In-N-Out Burger with Soch. That was just the icing on top of the cake. So after we went to In-N-Out, she took me back to the hotel and she drove back home to Mesquite to go to work. So then my mom and I went out shopping at the Miracle Mile Mall, which is right next to the Bellagio and Paris and everything. It's right next to Planet Hollywood. Then once again, after shopping, we went back to the hotel, got ready for Vegas nightlife again, and then went back out to Bubba Gump Shrimp like I mentioned. So after another dinner at Bubba Gump Shrimp, we went to Fremont Street, which was probably one of my most favorite things that we did while I was in Vegas. Fremont Street is Old Vegas, which is just the original road that Vegas was built on, so kind of the original Las Vegas Strip before it is what it is now. It's just lined with a bunch of bars and casinos, which obviously I'm underage, so I couldn't really go into those things, but also on Fremont Street are a lot of street performers, street artists. There's people that like dress up in costumes, there's a ton of those. And over top of Fremont Street is a dome that goes over the top from like side to side, you know what I mean? And it's all lit up with LED lights. So every 15 to 20 minutes, I believe, they put on this super loud like music mashup and they do a light show to music on the ceiling, which is definitely something I would go recommend checking out. It's just super mesmerizing, and Fremont Street as a whole is something that if you're in Vegas, you don't want to miss going there because it's just so different than the regular strip of Las Vegas. Like the atmosphere is different, the people are different, it's just a different vibe and feeling. So on Thursday I woke up early and Soch drove back to Las Vegas from Mesquite to pick me up, to drive back to Mesquite to be able to meet all of her friends and her boyfriend. We got pizza and we made root beer floats and we played Cards Against Humanity, which I have never played before, so that was an experience for me for sure. I absolutely loved that game. I thought it was so funny. It was really weird because when I was in Mesquite with Soch and all of her friends and stuff, it felt like I do that like all the time, and like I live in Vegas and I just go over to Soch's house and hang out with everybody like every day, every night, every weekend. So it was just really cool because it just felt normal and like natural and stuff. I'm getting like soppy, but it was just, yeah, it was a really nice evening, and I slept over her house, which takes us to Friday, which was my last day in Vegas. Soch drove us all the way back to Vegas, which, like I mentioned, is an hour drive. And once we got to Vegas, Soch wanted to go to Wahlburgers for lunch because I guess a lot of people that she worked with talked about it and were always like, I want to try it, because it was rumored to be really, really good, and we testified to that. So we took her out to Wahlburgers for lunch. Then we went back to the Miracle Mile Mall because they were having a lot of sales and stuff that Brittany and I were telling Soch about, and she wanted to go shopping. So we walked around that mall again, went to some stores we went to at the beginning of the week, went to some new stores, did some more shopping, even though I could barely fit the stuff that I previously bought in my suitcase, so I still ended up buying more and having to shove it in my suitcase at the airport. Don't know how I got it all home, but I did. So then unfortunately it was time to leave Soch, which is always the worst part of meeting an internet friend because it feels like you're right back to square one as soon as they walk away from you, and it always sucks because you never really know when you're gonna see them again, and it's just really frustrating. But I said goodbye to her, and everyone, like literally Brittany, Christine, which is Brittany's mom, my mom, and me, were all like trying not to cry. We had a little bit of time left before we had to go to the airport after we left Soch, so we went and saw a show in Vegas. We saw the history of Las Vegas. I'm not really sure if that's what the actual name of the show is called, but it's basically where it's a musical where they take you through all the different time periods of Las Vegas to what it is now, and it was just really cool to see all the different kind of outfits and songs and music and stuff that they performed and did, and it was just a really great show. So if you're looking for something that you can probably really easily get a ticket for, but it's also something that's worth the money and it's not a cheap show, I would definitely recommend checking out that one. I really, really, really enjoyed it. Then after the show, we went back to the airport and I had a red-eye flight back home. So I am so incredibly thankful to everyone who made this trip possible. I sound like I'm giving an award, but my mom putting this all together was absolutely amazing. Brittany and Christine for coming with us and giving us extra company and creating memories with me was just so much fun, and Soch for driving, and just I'm speechless. I don't know what I do to deserve stuff like this, and I am so, so, so incredibly thankful, but yeah. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know by giving it a big thumbs up. I also have another video talking about another experience of meeting another internet friend. So we have a little trio of internet friends. It's me, Soch, and Madison, which is who the other video is about. So if you want to check that out, it'll be like at a card thing at the top here or whatever, and it'll be linked down below. So yeah. If you're not already and you would like to, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. I post new videos every single week. Until my next video, I will see you all later. Bye guys. Why do I know that like word for word? Honestly, my life's a joke. That should be even better because now I have it sitting right on my face. Yes. Yeah, hold on, I'm filming a video. Let me turn it off.